Good Bulldog Even. I'm your host, Nathaniel Israel, and this is Conversations Around Masculinity. Who wears the mask? I'm here with Mr. Marcus Harper, who is an educator, a mentor, and most importantly, a black father. How are you today?
Pretty good. How you doing?
I'm fantastic. I'm so glad you could join us today. So, we're going to jump right into the first set of questions. So, at what age did you first learn to become a man? Reflecting on this can reveal the influences and pressures that shaped your early understanding of masculinity.
Oh man, that would have to be. Man, I have to say the first impression was I had to been 6 years old.
Okay. Was there any like certain was there any lessons specifically taught to you, or was it just like that's just remember you had to start being a man around the house?
Okay, so now let me back up again. If you're asking when did I feel like I was becoming a man,
Yes.
then that's a different age.
Okay.
But as a young boy, I could remember wanting to be like my dad,
Okay.
and at the earliest point of that was 6.
Okay. And what was your dad like?
Oh man, my dad was he was more he was all man
Okay.
through and through. He really didn't everybody got that parent that don't take no mess.
Okay.
Then he was one like that, but he was down to earth and he understood the situations of life that we had to grow up in.
Mm-hmm.
Considering the environment that we were in, considering the fact that we were black,
Okay.
he had a real good handle on what we needed to know
Okay.
growing up.
Thank you for that. And I just want to touch on when you said what we needed to know. Do you believe there is a difference between becoming a man and becoming a black man in society? And if so, what would you say are the most what are the biggest differences with that?
Okay, let me answer it in 2 ways.
Okay.
Becoming a man, there's no difference,
Okay.
black or white. You got to become a man no matter which way it goes, from a boy to a man. But as being a black man in America, there are some things that I have to be aware of that must be taught from generation to generation. That's what my dad was really good about. That there was things that because I was black, there's certain things I couldn't do, or certain things I had to be aware of while I did things.
Okay.
So, for example, one of the things was if you black, you pretty much know. You pretty much know. Okay, my dad was. You pretty much know. Okay, I'm gonna marry a white girl. My dad really didn't. He really didn't have no problems with that.
Okay.
Okay, but he made sure I understood that. Hey, look. Okay, these are the things that you're gonna have to deal with and accept because you're marrying a white girl.
Okay.
And that would mean you gotta understand that their culture is different than yours. And there's certain things that they may not understand. Or there's certain things that they may feel to be normal that you get offended by. That was nothing that really was a problem. It's just that you got to be prepared to deal with that. And it was he always told us that you could never really you can't always put your fist in everything. Solving the issue comes with your mind before your fist.
So it's definitely that emotional awareness in today's
Yes.
society. Do you was your father a very emotional man around you? Was he more on the stern side? Were there ever those times where you seen him sort of like take off this take off this sort of mask as we show it. I know you said he was a man's man.
Oh yeah, yeah. Now now when I say he was a man's man, I mean he wasn't a macho kind of guy.
Okay.
He wasn't a macho kind of guy. You know, he treated me and my brother as young men. Now, of course, you know, there's certain things that as kids we wasn't exposed to because we were too young to be exposed to.
Okay.
But as we got older, you start to see the veil being lifted on certain things that he did. So he was always upfront and always really dealt with things head up with us. He never really sugarcoated. I should say sugarcoated. He took the mask off of every situation.
Okay.
That could come about. So if there was a more of a violent situation, he was the one that you come talk to and say, okay, well, this is what happened. This is why it happened. Something that scared you to death. Something that scared me. Something to be like, man, it wouldn't be a problem to go talk to him and say, I don't know, Daddy, I don't think I like that. It was never a problem for that.
Okay.
I hope that answers your question.
No, it did. So we're gonna go more so of what are some masks that we wear in today's society to just hide our emotions, and I'll quickly like pick your brain to see if you do any of these. I'll share some too. So some of the masks we wear in covering our emotions: humor, anger, and silence. We'll go over those three first. Mm-hmm. So humor, as far as like if somebody asks you, "Are you okay?" A lot of times we smile, or we brush it off. So like start making small jokes instead of being like, "No, like I am not okay." Anger in society nowadays, it's more appropriate for us as men to be to lash out instead of just like having those moments where we can actually break down. Or silence, as far as like an emotional shutdown that stems from feeling like unsafe to express. Have you ever been in a situation where you feel like you can't express your emotions?
Yes.
Does that and do you think that comes from how your upbringing was?
Yeah, I can say that. Yes.
Okay. Some more we have is overworking. You know, staying busy in our fields to distract us from an underlying emotional pain. I think, especially with the older we are, I know the older people in my life, like my relatives, mentors, and even my dad have overworked when they have feel like have they been hit with some deep emotional news. Okay. Would you say that you can like align in that too?
Well, when you say overwork, you mean, okay, let's say somebody just passed away.
Okay.
I do get relief in being busy. I can't sit still and think about it.
Okay.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I gotta be moving, I gotta be walking around, I gotta be doing something. Even if it's doing anything to prepare for the funeral, I gotta be doing it. I can't just sit there and not. And so yeah, I guess I do the same thing. Apply work status, a work mindset to solve it, to feeling better. Ultimately, that's a temporary fix, because eventually you're gonna come to a point in that kind of scenario. You're gonna come to a point where you got to deal with it. And one of the things that I do is that I deal with it on my own. I really don't want people to see me deal with it.
Okay.
That's one of the hardest things that I have to work through. Is that I'd rather see it done on my own. In my own room, in my own space, in my own time. I don't want everybody else to see me break down.
Okay. So back to, I know this is the year 2025, but I would just assume that talks of discrimination or racism have been brought up in your younger days. How have experiences with racism or discrimination shape how you were structured to show your emotions or move in that time?
When it comes to the racism effect, what the effect it's had on me is that I don't really show you what I'm thinking.
Okay.
Does that make, if that makes sense? I don't really show you what I'm thinking. I know that I anticipate that you're already thinking some racist stuff. I say you, but I mean, a different race.
I understand.
One of the things, and I had to learn that as a first coming in, man, you got to learn how to control your emotions.
Mm-hmm.
Racism is an issue that we all both, as black men, we got to deal with. And I think that the tables, so to speak, have been set to prove that we cannot work in certain environments because we're violent.
Okay.
Because we have a violent mindset. Those are the kind of things that you come in with the anticipation that they already are expecting you to react. Does that make sense?
Yes.
They're expecting you to react violently. I've always felt that. And not every, I don't walk into the situation of dealing with white folk that way. I don't really anticipate you being racist until you show me that you can be racist. Once you show me that you can be racist, that doesn't necessarily mean that you have to be racist to me. But once you show me, now I walk into the room anticipating, okay, yeah, he may be friends of mine, but yeah, he can be racist. He has a card he can pull. Does that make sense?
Yes.
That's the kind of, so you walk in already thinking, expecting something to be racist.
I understand. So this is a quick sort of like brain teaser. So Lawrence Dunbar, in his poem "We Wear the Mask," he says, "We wear the mask that grins and lies," sort of like of us hiding our emotions. Is there anything in that line that stands out to you particularly that you may be able to relate to?
Say it one more time.
We wear the mask that grins and lies.
Yeah, I'm not going to show you how I really think.
Definitely.
I'm not going to show it. I'm just not going to do it.
Definitely.
Based on being in this white man's world, so to speak.
Okay. And I just got two more questions to round out. Does if you had to go back and tell your younger self a message to your younger self about his emotions, of what he should show, maybe what he should not show, what would you tell your younger self? You had a time machine.
Don't be afraid to show a little emotion. Don't worry about what other people think. Show it, move on from it.
Okay.
Move on from it. It is something that you will be able to overcome. That's what I would tell them.
All right, thank you for that. And one more. To your children, what's a value when it comes to them expressing themselves and having their emotions and being validated? What is something that you've really tried to hit home at, especially raising black sons?
Talk about it. Don't be afraid to ask questions. Don't be afraid to talk about it. Don't be afraid to speak your mind. Say, hey, what you got? Hey, this is how I feel about this. This is how I feel about it. Now, that may not change the outcome, but you can at least learn from it. You got to communicate. One of the things that we as a family have a hard time doing it is talking stuff out. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
So one of the things is black men, we don't talk it out. We get our emotions wound up so tight that when it's time to talk, it ain't time to talk. Does that make sense? It ain't time to talk. It's either gonna be this or it's gonna be that. But one of the things that I would tell, control your emotions by talking it out. Don't use your fight syndrome as the first thing to do. And always be aware of your surroundings.
Definitely. Mr. Harper, I want to thank you so much for sharing your time. I just have some information that I want to tell you.
All right.
Personally, you are strong. You are a teacher. You are enough, and it is okay to feel how you feel at the moment. Thank you so much, sir. You have a good rest
All
of
right,
your day.
Thank you, man.
Thank you.
All right.